everyone see my screen?
Yeah, we can.
All right, cool. So this is our website, and we had to put out a non-partisan statement. So I'm not going to go through it. I'll just go to the next slide. All right. So now here's this is our statement. And I'm just going to let you guys know what our approach is, because when you talk about PVC activism, many people think, oh, you should go to the villages, or people think, oh, you should go to this area, or you should go. We just have an approach, which is, as much as we can, let us work with those who are educated, so they can take the message home. When I mean take the message home, you could take the messages, to your villages. There's somewhere in one of our Google Forms we recently updated, and we've asked for local government and language, so that when guys fill up our Google Forms in terms of getting our database, we can now provide, the content that we are producing to the languages they understand. If it's Hausa, definitely we can say, okay, you know what, 300 people fill in the form, 200 are Hausa. So this is the information. You can just now pass it to WhatsApp, or to an audio cast, or to something visual, that they understand. So our goal is to primarily work with those who are educated, who are online, and then they can now pass the messages, to their villages. I mean, we've got brothers and sisters, siblings and uncles and aunties who live in the village. So we're just going to pass information down to them, and then help them, in sharing it. So that is our approach with PVC activism. We may not necessarily be in the villages, but this is, how we would like to engage when it comes to, putting out awareness campaigns to the continuous voter registration, and of course, PVC. So my next slide, this is what we touched about, or kind of considered, we're not suggesting, people should go out and protest. We're not suggesting, to walk on the streets. All of those could still pass for a walkathon, but you can actually just go. What we're trying to say is, if you belong to a tribe, if you belong to a community, you can make every step count, by giving these guys information and being the voice, for PVC awareness, for the continuous voter registration. So that's our own idea for a walkathon. And I'm looking at a situation where we have 100,000 people saying, hey, I go to XYZ gym, I know 10 people there. I can just say, gather them around and just say something about, about PVC, or the continuous voter registration. So that's what we see. So places like the Lagos Food Association, which is a very big, huge network, happen to know the guy from one of the clubhouse meetings. Like I said, your fitness centers, tech hubs, the lifestyle and travel groups, your music band, outdoor tribes, family and friends. We would like to raise individuals who say, this is what I can contribute, by letting you know that, hey, I've got a platform of 10 people, 200 people, as you have. Just let us know, and then we can, either we're going to show up there, or we can give you the information, that obviously if you're in Lagos, we can just provide the information, or share the sticker, or connect them with this audio, and then we are sharing the awareness, or spreading the awareness. So I'm going to go to the next slide and let you know what we've done. So we have our website, pretty basic, but very clear to the point. When you go to the website, you can see what we're trying to do, and the campaigns, and the forms to fill, or what to listen to. Basically, more information as well. We also want to work with, affiliations like Better Niger, Restore Niger, Voter Education. Just, providing, a page where for these associations, people could just go click and find more, especially those ones, that we personally know. So we're going to do that on the site. So I'm just going to request later on that if we had your logo, and we had, a brief summary of what you're up to, could just put it as your own bio introduction, and then it links to your site. So that's what we've done. Thanks to supporters, we've been able to print out 1,800, campaign stickers, and we've also been able to produce some placards. I'm going to share more about it. We've discussed with 2 tribes come talk to us about PVC activism. So so time we have one the last Saturday of this month. So we're going to have that conversation, and then we're still going to share our stickers. And then we're also able to recruit members, into PVC activism. Those who want to raise their voices and want to use a platform. The call to action is getting maybe 50 people out of 200 or 20 people out of 200, who buy into the vision, and already perhaps doing stuff in terms of one way or the other, how they're contributing to the awareness for the 2023 election. So that's what we're trying to do. And also photographs are going to be taken, placards are going to be taken with pictures, and these things or activities we're going to do is going to be on your site or on their Instagram pages or Twitter pages, and then it has a potential to reach another couple thousand. So that's one awareness that we're trying to do. So now the question is, how to reach out to other tribes. We're trying to build a list of 100 tribes, or communities. So if you know one, somebody who runs one, someone who belongs to one, you can begin to, interact with them. Hey, how's that thing where you at? I kind of see this often, that is what you do. Is there an opportunity where I have a group of people who can talk to you guys about, the continuous voter registration or awareness campaigns and things like that? So we're trying to build a list of 100 people. Let this 100 people go. Let this 100 groups. Perhaps we'll be able to reach out to 10,000 or 20,000 from 100, communities that we find. Whether it's Lagos, Abuja, wherever it is, we can reach them with social media, with online or anything like that. So now, in terms of support, we are now looking for the human capital in terms of, like I said, who is going to be interested, to say, what, I can also do this. I can, I know two or three people who can also come in here, would like to know. And then expertise, what are you bringing? Are you a graphic designer? Because we really need, graphic, eye-catching content, So the pages and what we're trying to do really, appeals to this audience, who are educated, they've got many of the smart devices. So we need to also, speak to the appeal in making PVC and the continuous voter registration interesting, to them. And then what platforms they have, and what financial, room or program or something that we can also get funds to. These are the things we'd like to know, to keep in mind. So I'm going to go over to the next slide, which is on our campus engagement. So now we are really focused on campus. I tell you, one of the things we're really, really focused is making sure that INEC, has polling units on campus, federal and state at least, so students, who have the PVCs can go vote. Because when these things are not there, many students now have the excuses. Like I did when I went to university, 7,000 students get into a federal university. So I can count 7,000 times 6 years, year 1 to year 6, that's 42,000. You haven't talked about other programs in school, postgraduate programs in school, masters in school. You can reach about 60, 70,000 students on campus. Multiply that by 36, that's in millions. So if these people know that, they can vote on campus, they can be in school, and on election day, I'm going to stay in school and I'm going to vote, because the school also provides some sort of security that they would necessarily not even have should they go outside of the school premises to vote. So we want to provide them with information, tools, and materials necessary to encourage students' civic engagement on campus. Now, these are our objectives. Number one, we're still on this INEC issue. So on that Zoom call, he mentioned he has a contacts in Abuja, that we can work with, so that INEC is pressured. I believe, these people also have other platforms, and if we share this to them, they could take it up. So we need that contact person he knows, to work with us, making sure that this is achieved. So that is just what we want there. So the next thing we want to do is, we're still on the NAS, that's the National Association of Nigerian Students, because they are a voice. There's no way we're going to take, if NAS is going to be on this, which, I had to, get out in Nigeria and reach out to NAS presidents in the US, all these guys, because NAS is just not in Nigeria. So I'm going to have a conversation with the guy who runs the NAS zone. He and I have we have a call this Sunday. So he's going to let me know what he can do and how he can also get across to other countries where you have NAS, and this can be a topic, and then they would add their voices to it. Hopefully, when we're able to mobilize all of these guys and then some of the SCG presidents on campus, the NAS guy, he would now see that, oh, these guys are not even joking about it. We've already done the mobilization and gotten people on our side, so he would definitely want to look into it. So that's what we're hoping to do. So when that has been confirmed, and we're now working with NAS, talk shows or talk events or programs and seminars can happen on campus. Every year, year one students would always have orientation. So about their civic duties, about PVC, about the continuous voter registration, we should have that kind of conversation going. I did a research, and I found from research on NAS, and there's a post I'm going to make on our Instagram page, I believe on Monday or Tuesday. NAS was an organization, that then 20 years ago, 30 years ago, even the president had to, NAS had a say in many things that that went around in the political spheres and the things that affected, daily Nigerian lives. But right now we don't see anything happening. Something is wrong. So I saw that material, I made it more colorful, and then it's going to be on the post, and I'm going to tag all the NAS presidents that I know on that post, and I'll encourage every other person, if anyone, just tag them, let them really know that what they're currently doing now is nothing compared to what NAS used to be. So hopefully they hear us out, and then we're able to now walk into the schools and not feel threatened, knowing that, oh, we are backed up with the SCG presidents and with NAS. So we also want to provide materials on campus. In terms of stickers, placards. I've seen all of this is happening in school because I schooled in the Federal University. There are all these campaigns never stop. So definitely these things would need to be done. So now this is what we're hoping to do to raise an awareness. So now this placard has been designed, and it costs 2,000 naira to do this particular placard. We've only done one, and then a couple others are back what we're trying to do up. So what we want to do is next Thursday, following. So we're going to go to campus with a placard, and we want to have the day we go 100 students, take a picture with this on their own camera phone, and then they begin to put out the word on their social media and wherever they can share with the hashtag. We want to raise an awareness to this first. So before it gets to Twitter, when someone sees, oh, it's trending with 1,000 tweets. Oh, these guys came to my school. I'm gonna, tweet to it as well. And before you know it, you're building something that it could be 100K, in Twitter trends and things like that. But we need to really do the groundwork first. So these guys have the materials, to begin to promote all of this. So if we're reaching out to 100 students across 43 and 48 universities in Nigeria, that's 91 campuses. That's approximately 10,000 photos that's going to be taken. So if we're going to be doing a tour with the Nigerian universities, so we have all of these things going. And then again, when we do this, the activities to recruit campus reps, make allies with other platforms, and also engage with your influencer pages and accounts as we do this. So now, the third one we're trying to work on is with public transport. And the objective is to begin with, 5,000 cars. If you look at this image, you can see that. So whatever that tells you about your the CVR or your PVC or your right to vote or etc. We just need to put out this information out there. So what we're trying to do is I began conversation with told me this is possible, so he's trying to connect me with some guy, in the rank where, he can coordinate these guys and just hang, just let them know about information. And many of them will just carry on and do it, but then we're open to have more leads. So if anyone really knows someone who was wherever they are, we need to actually, have these guys come in so they can see what we're trying to do. So I'm not going to go over in numbers. So the driver makes 20 trips per day. This is from statistics that I found out. So in 30 days, 20 times 30, that's 600. If you're going to multiply 600 times 5,000, you're expecting, 3 million persons in a month to interact with a PVC sticker or a CVR sticker, and these guys obviously would like to take a picture. Hey guys, this is what these guys are doing. You never can tell who's going to, and they see it, and then they begin to lend their voices to that. So we're just starting off from here. The goal is to also go to campuses and talk to the bus association or taxi association. These guys who travel from Lagos to Abuja, just give them really cool stickers, that they would like feel, oh, I think I want to put it also on my screen, to make me look urban or fresh or something like that. So that's the goal. If we're able to do 5,000, that's 5,000 vehicles. That's about 3 million. We're going to do 20,000 vehicles. You do the maths. Every single time, every single day, people are saying. That's an awareness, to what we're trying to do, So when we're trying to do this, we're also making sure that we've done statistics, we've asked the questions on how to print all of these, and that we really know what it costs. So the fourth one is now freebies. So would it not be cool if this government doing tin tomatoes and whatever, whatever brand says, what, if you've got XYZ, you're going to get 10% of my brand, throughout the shop. So how can we make 10 billion, in freebies look attractive, where every store can say, what, on a Friday or so day or throughout the week, we're encouraging the CVR. So therefore, pick a badge from PVC Activism, an electronic badge from PVC Activism, flash it here, and then you can, save 10% or 5% on your bill. So this would be one of those incentives that people say, what, I'm just going to subscribe. So I'm going to let you know what that means. So the goal is to get, in order to do that, we need to do a call to action for vendors in different categories. It could be a gym. A gym could say, what, it's 30% of subscription if you're signed up with PVC Activism to claim this offer. We only need to see that you've got a badge. So that's the fourth one. Now, the last one would be how to encourage 16 and 17-year-olds before they turn 18. So now, because there's nothing like pre-registration, we don't want to even say pre-registration or to vote, because we don't want INEC or whoever, to come for us. We're just going to say, maybe a reminder on your 18th birthday, So we want to make sure 16 or 17-year-olds who are on Facebook, who are online and in school, they can actually subscribe to, for something like this, get a reminder on their 18th birthday, so they don't forget. And then whilst they are in our database, of course, we are sending them information targeted to them, how they can really just understand, their role and what's really going on in the country. That's one thing we don't have in Nigeria. So if you're building a database, the age is really, the age categories are important, because what I'm going to send a 17-year-old is not what I'm going to send some person who is 35. They have different priorities. They'll have different, motivations to really go out to vote. This one wants to know about, hey, my education. This one wants to know, what's security for my family. So we need to look at that. Data is really powerful, because in communication, you can really just put out, what appeals to that particular segment. So we really want to see 1,500,000 people, on our database, and we want to grow it, as much as we can. So now the call to action again is build a structure. We don't need anything too fancy, to do all of this. The question is, what would be the date? That's what we're thinking about. Yeah, we thought about, having a celebrity and expert call you on your 18th birthday. I'd seen that somewhere that was done by a celebrity in the US, and she reached out to some person and she was like, oh, now you're 18, XYZ, we're going to make a right decision in voting. And this person was excited, and she put out a video of that this celebrity, who's a Grammy nominated celebrity, reached out to her on her birthday, so that would spark more enthusiasm within the young people, to do that. Also, not just celebrities, but public figures, basketball figures, football figures, experts, entrepreneurs like us, who can also encourage, these young ones to really just get out to vote or get registered to vote. And then incentives, the freebies, data bank. Data is really critical to these guys. If they say 100 MB, a week or a month, not everyone is going to get it anyway, but definitely 100 MB, which would be 3,500 naira can give you on the plan I'm at, it can give you 24 gig. So 100 MB can give like 20, 30 people. I mean, 3.5 can give 20, 30 people 100 megabytes in data, and they'll be grateful for it. You know, so we're thinking about all of these things. So this will be the end of the conversation, and let me just know what you want to talk on.